I don't have no earphones. I don't have no earphones. I don't have no earphones. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Mike DeLauder, live here at the Predators Sunshine State Pro-Am Championship. It's an honor to be involved.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy
Thank you
Mike
so much to our
DeLauder,
sponsors,
live here at the
Bobby
Predators
Garza,
Sunshine
Janine
State
Phillips. Thank you
Pro-Am
so much for putting on
Championship.
a great show.
It's an honor to be involved.
Hey, Predator,
what's up, guys? It's your boy
thank you
Mike
so much
DeLauder,
to our sponsors,
sponsors,
tables,
Bobby Garza.
We appreciate everything you do for
Thank you
pool.
so much for putting on a
So we got a duel
show.
here.
Honor to be involved.
Predator, Bobby Garza,
Predator
Equipment,
versus
Johnny
Cues.
Browning, tables,
Bobby Garza.
and appreciate everything you do for pool.
So much for putting on a
Johnny does not
we got
have
a
his
duel
Fargo
here.
in, but
Predator,
Bobby Garza,
Predator Equipment
versus Johnny
Cues.
Browning, tables,
Bobby Garza.
and appreciate everything you do for pool.
So
I think the key to opening racks is all about protecting your position. You don't have much value in regards to the game count. However, you have to protect. Is all about don't be in a rush to win. Position. You don't have much value in regards to the game count. That's a little hard to believe coming from me because I've always been kind of an attacker. Don't be in a rush. When you get older, don't see the balls as good. No, that's a little hard. It's definitely, it's good to protect your berries. An attacker, you know, kind of similar to one pocket, you know, protecting the lead, protecting the score. It's definitely, you know, this hill and 0-0 might not be the exact score, but there's still a lot of pressure in the first protecting the lead, protecting the attacking position. The first game, that momentum is so huge. Might not be the exact, especially in close matchups. You know, when you let your opponent get comfortable, you really don't. That momentum is so huge. You could just relinquish the control right at the beginning. You know, when you let your opponent. He's got a really tough one ball here. And you hit it nicely. He's got a little more angle than he'd like on the two ball, so I'm gonna guess that he's gonna go into the 9 and try to push the 3 over. Unless he can hold it more angle than he'd like on the two ball, so I'm gonna guess that he's. So I like his shot. I think he just overkilled it. It almost felt like he couldn't do that with that angle, but he actually he executed it too good. So I like his shot. I think he just overkilled it. It almost felt like Johnny. You know, I like how he's hitting the ball, but he actually he executed it too good. Safe here. I think he just overkilled it. It almost felt like Johnny. You know, I like how he's hitting the ball. He elected to go for the bank, and the reason why I don't like that particular shot is because he has no value if he makes the 3. So maybe in his mind he was trying to bank the 3 into the 4 and use the 9-5 as cover. Is because he has no value if he makes the. So in that case, he just kind of undercut it a little bit. The 3 into the 4 and use the 9-5. Bobby liked to roll his ball there. I prefer to slide my ball. So in that case, he just with a little more control a little bit. Because you know, sometimes tables roll his ball there. They deviate when you roll the ball. The line kind of with a little more control. You know, what a great shot, Bobby. Bobby played an old school, like a straight pull style shot when you roll the ball, using the bottom rail to go into the 9 and has used the 9 as a blocker. What a great shot. Bobby played an old school, like a straight pull style shot. So the biggest flaw I see when people are working from the 6 to 7 is not getting enough angle. I really like this angle Bobby produced here on the 6 shot. It allows you to hit slower speeds when people are working from the 6 and get to the 7 with very little effort. So if you want to control the cue ball, you want to use the angles to your advantage and get to the 7. So some people, they're afraid of angles. What you really need to be afraid of is not knowing how to use the angle, because angles are definitely in your benefit to execute the game. Because when you increase your speed, the physics change. So it's always good to try to only use speed when necessary. I know a lot of great players that hit the ball rather hard. They might not agree with me, but from an amateur's point of view, soft and medium speeds are definitely great players that hit the ball rather help you. They might not get to the firmer speeds, if that makes sense. But from an amateur's point of view, soft and medium speeds are definitely great players that hit the ball rather help you.
Turn it up a little.
They might not
Turn it up a little.
speeds, if that makes sense. All right, Bobby, he accidentally got on the wrong side of the 8 ball, but you know what? There's a reward for good speed.
Turn it up a little.
So you kind of give him a little. All right, Bobby, he acts a little credit on that shot. The wrong side of the 8 ball. A lot of times people are very hard for good speed. in regards
so you kind of give them a little
when they get on the wrong side of the ball. But if you played 9 feet of good distance, that's kind of like your reward. Your angle out wasn't perfect, but your speed control was. So don't punish yourself. But if you played, get down and pocket the 8. That's kind of like it's just your first shot at the table. It wasn't perfect, but your speed control was. So don't punish yourself. But if you played, get down and pocket the 8. I have a feeling like it's just your first shot at the table. It wasn't perfect, but your speed control was. So don't punish yourself. But if you played, get down. Okay, I really like that shot. It shows me that Johnny is protecting, trying to live to fight another day. I mean, the 8's not in the ideal position for somebody like Bobby's skill level. He should be able to pretty much hit this ball 100% of the time. You don't want to hit it too slow. You want to hit it with a medium skill level. You should be able to pretty much hit this ball, a little firmer. So if you miss, the 8 ball doesn't just you don't want to hit it too slow. You want to hit it with a medium skill level. You should be able to. So I like the speed. So if you miss the 8 ball, you know what I mean. Just remember on that shot, it's not a rolling ball. It's a roll with a little something on it. So you can guarantee separation. So if you miss the 8 ball, you know what I mean. Just remember separation's the key when you're hooked. And I think he achieved that goal, even though he left a cross corner. He forces Johnny to. He forces him into a position when you're hooked. Hey, this is where it's all going down. Even though this bank seems simple, but he's not left him straight in. So there's still a little bit of a position. It's still a dog in the fight here. He's still fighting hard. This bank seems simple, but he's not left him straight in. All right, so there you go. A little bit of a so these tables, the felt's playing a little newer. So that means the tendency on most banks is to go long. All right, so there you go. Your smaller angles, you're probably gonna have to hold them a little bit more than you would. Felt's playing a little newer. For instance, if you're playing at a place like Derby, tendency on most banks is to go long. Play at Derby, you might be holding them with, no, like Derby in here. This is like the 3rd day of Derby, 5th day of Derby. They're starting to play a little shorter, but you still have to hold the angle. Derby in here, this is like the 3rd day of Derby, 5th day of Derby. I mean, the table looks worn. To play a little shorter, but you still have to hold the angle. Derby in here, this is like the 3rd day of Derby, 5th day of Derby. I mean, the table looks worn. To play a little shorter, but you still have to hold the angle. Derby in here, this is like the 3rd day of Derby. So there's been a question on the rules whether it's alternate break or winner break. A little shorter, but you still have to hold the angle. Derby in here, this is like the 3rd day of Derby. So there's been a question on the rules whether it's alternate break or winner break. A little shorter, but you still have to hold the angle. Derby in here, this is like the 3rd day of Derby. So there's been a question on the rules. So Ryan, can you hear me good now? I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and put me to work. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me good now? I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and put me to work. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me good now? I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and
the guy says
put me to
audio
work.
has a feedback.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me good now? I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and
The guy says
put me to
audio
work.
has a feedback.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me good now? I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and maybe you can let me. Maybe I'll just go on this and see if I can hear me now. Good now. I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and maybe you can let me. Maybe I'll just leave that up. Hear me now. Good now. I'm not the IT guy, but Bobby just threw me in here and maybe you can let me. But now I can't see what the people are saying though. Right there? And how do I go to the score?
Just push it right here.
Okay, I got it.
You can pause that video so it's not running.
It's a re-rack. You're good. Pretty sure. You just miscued and hit the back of the ball. This is not a legal break. Okay, guys. I believe the rules of 9-ball are if you do not hit the 1 ball, the game hasn't started. I truly feel that it should be loss of break, but it's always been like that. So we'll give another crack at it. Bobby leads 1-0. Shout out to only the 8 people out. We appreciate you listening to the to the stream. We appreciate you supporting the stream. Sunshine Predator Pro-Am Pool Tour. All right, so for you younger players and pool students, the whole key is, I think Conor McGregor said it, is never forfeit speed for accuracy. So what that means is when you overhit the ball, you're going to lose accuracy. Your fundamentals break down. The key is to have a swift, smooth delivery where you're transitioning the energy. So like golf, tennis. If you ever wonder why Tommy Kennedy breaks so good, it's because he's smooth and swift, and he rotates his body at impact. So for a little guy, he breaks like a monster. Okay, I like to shoot this 2 here. Try to hold it under the 6. Bank the 2 under the 7. I'm just not sure how he missed the 6 there. That was an excellent shot. I didn't think that route was available. I like his shot much better than the shot I selected. He really held that object ball and straightened it back out. It looked like it was almost destiny to hit the 6 ball. Bobby Garza 1-0. Does it sound better? Can you figure out if it sounds better? My phone's not getting service. So once again, we talked about momentum and the competitive natures, sports, business, everything. Once you get momentum, continue to use that momentum for your mental fortitude. Let it empower you. Momentum is something that comes and goes, and when it happens, you have to allow and you have to accept it because it's very emotional. Sometimes losing, it's very emotional winning. So if you know the emotions are a big part of the game, you're 100% objective is to compose yourself and just allow the momentum to occur. We got 8 streamers. Y'all need to share this, bro. I can't be talking to 8 people. I need like at least 500. First round. Championship. Let's do this. I love the way Bobby brings his entire stroke out. He has such a controlled, it's almost it's kind of like a Bustamante. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that. Busti's got one of the most elaborate strokes of all time. And on his last delivery, he's just straight back, straight forward, just so beautiful. But most people don't understand about Bustamante is that he's doing most of those components early just to warm up his muscles, to kind of reduce friction in his body. And then on the last stroke, he's just like chopping wood like Crouching Tiger. So it's like, got to pay attention to that. Sometimes people try to imitate people's strokes, but don't understand. A lot of it's just their warm-up stroke. Their last stroke's different than the warm-up stroke. You feel me? Okay, you want to float out to the middle of the table. I think you got a little light on it. So on this shot, you're going to have to kill it with bottom English. If you just use spin here, you will manufacture the angles to game it fuller, but you'll also overthrow it sometimes. So I like to really dig into the cue ball. So I don't like to roll that ball. I like to hit it with low and kill it so I can accelerate through the ball. When you're rolling the ball, it's almost like you're decelerating a little bit. So on that particular shot, he could have did like a draw soft stroke where the ball's rotating backwards and it holds the line. When you roll the ball, what happens is the spin runs out and the cue ball deviates off its line. So you really got to take that into, consideration. When you're rolling the ball, it could roll off. It makes sense. It's in the word. A lot of the great players are going to use more of a sliding ball, not to negate Bobby's ability to roll the ball. But when you roll the ball, it's better when you do it when you have a defensive position to protect. If you're all in on the shot, rolling the ball, you sleep in the street. You understand what I'm saying? ¿Lo pincas? Huh? Okay. You see them guys try trapping all the time.
You were up in Tennessee or
Ohio?
Kentucky or something?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Good deal.
I got third.
That's what I thought.
I ran 27 in one game.
I heard that 27 rails in
But 24 in one. What up?
1 inning or something.
2 innings. So I ran a 14 and a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I almost ran a 19, my high run. I had a straight in one railer and I missed it to get to this 4-railer. So. All right, so there it would have helped him to use a little more English coming out of the 2 rails and coming more of a straighter line to the 9. The key to this shot is you just want to overcut it and you want to play your cue ball down to the bottom rail. So he missed the ball. And you know what physics say? Thinner than thicker. So you know that happens a lot. Sometimes when you just have a thin cut, you misperceive your edge. It's very important to go over there, look at the edge, look at the line the object ball is going down, and try to say to yourself, this is my edge, this is my line. Now when you formulate the rest of the equation, all you have to do is put speed and deliver your stroke. So if you don't look at the edge and you're misperceiving it, you're going to miss balls a lot like that. And the younger players that are trying to find the line the ball's going down, it's good for you to go over there and take a look. Guys like Earl Strickland, they've looked at that line a million times. He might not even need to look at the line. But for the younger players, it's going to benefit you to go give a look-see. The thinner you're hitting the ball, you either got to cut it a little, you got to spin it a little, or you got to reduce your speed to reduce the skid, decrease the friction. I know there's only 8 people out there, but I just gave a lesson yesterday to Mrs. Moxley out of the Merritt Island, and man, it was such a great lesson. We got her drawing the ball for the first time. We got her elbow straightened out. You know, I'm giving lessons in Orlando. If you guys are interested, holler at your boy. I give money back to a $200 lesson. I spend 2.5 hours with you. We overview the straight line and measuring distance and just try to really iron out your fundamentals to where the next time you come, we can learn physics. So, you know, if you try to learn spin before you learn vertical axis pull, the game is very difficult. Your goal is to learn the vertical axis of the ball first, measuring distance, and then you're off to the races. You can add spin and manufacture angles. That's the funnest part of pool. Fuck. I just cussed. I'm sorry. My cue fell down somehow. Shout out to Jameson Daniels, Predator Cues, Lights Out Streaming, Diamond Billiards, Kamui Chalk. You know, it takes a group, it takes a village to raise a child, and it also takes a village of wonderful people to keep the pool community alive, and we appreciate every one of you.
You got one or you want?
I need one. Okay. I'll take a Coke too. Yeah, you just put it on I'll start a tab. A lot of times in the early parts of the tournament, I truly feel that, you know, you're excited to be there. It's easy to make a few mistakes and get down on yourself. But you got to tell yourself it's the beginning of the day. You know, let's just go ahead and muster up the courage to continue to read our adjustments, continue to measure and adjust. I could shoot every ball on the rail. However, if I am adjusting, each angle becomes my friend. Each angle, you work it out. You're always solving the riddle. Alex Pagaline taught me, you know, solving puzzles, solving the problem, staying objective. That's the key. It cures all the demons, the anxiety, everything that you deal with, and it makes you a better player. A lot of times emotional disposition is the difference between a good player and a great player, or the win and a loss. If you show weakness, your opponent's chest puffs up. If you show strength, too much strength, you get egotistical and you shoot yourself in the foot. It's just a balance of the two. It's a very nice stroke there. I like to just go full, stun it with inside. It was a little less angle than he wanted, and he overcut it. It's very common. A lot of times when you have a small angle to move the cue ball, you need inside English. I think he just overcut it a little bit, trying to create the angle with the cut of the ball, but it was a small pocket, so it kind of worked against him a little bit. John Stuckey, what's good, baby? Absolutely great shot there. So he had a small angle to play outside there, and he overturned the ball. Just remember, guys, when you're aiming at the ball full, it's going to accept a spin more. So maybe he could have used inside at that edge. Even though it was a little more dangerous, I think that he had the control to just float out to the middle there using inside English. Kind of works the object ball back to the hole, so you're not as vulnerable to miss, you know. Small angles, outside English is not your friend. I see a lot of great players. They hit outside English firm, trying to work the ball. I'd rather hit the same speed and work the cue ball, like with middle or inside, make it travel further within the bed, you know. Outside English helps when it hits the rail, but if you have a small angle and you can't get to the rail, inside English moves it the furthest. So this is a very important shot here. Bobby shoots the 9. I feel if he would have played the cue ball to the bottom rail, I know some people don't want to think about missing, but for me, I'm going to play it like a one-pocket shot. I'm going to aim to overcut it, and then I'm going to play whitey to the bottom rail. 3 rails in the corner. So that was good speed there, because you guys got to realize when you play banks, your goal is to leave distance. Obviously, he's shooting in the hole, but you got to understand your speed. So if you're taking on a hard shot, you can kind of play your object ball to a zone there. So I felt like you could say it's fortunate, or you can compliment the man's speed and fight on, you know. Okay, Bobby hit this one. I mean, listen, this is an excellent object ball. This is excellent what they're doing with the object ball. I get it. John Brumback's probably going to cross-side this ball. Even John Brumback misses this angle because this angle is a little steeper. I really think you put him on the 50-yard line, you might be inclined to play safety here. But I'm not smart enough to do that, so I'm probably going to bank it. The problem is, you're going to bank it. You want to bank it to the corner and play soft speed where it leaves a table and a half by that little white mark down there. You know what? That's not a bad shot. It's not a bad shot at all. He played that 9 ball perfectly. They had a chance to go. I mean, I saw Raymond practice in a drill on a shot very similar. And it's so important to be able to control the cue ball because you're cutting it so thin. It wants to go to the corner. So you might have to add or subtract spin to kind of hold it away from the corner. But the object ball speed was perfect. I mean, I really give him credit on the object ball speed. 3 shots in a row where they both banked at their hole and protected. So that's experience right there. So if you guys are paying attention, you just can't whack your bank. You got to bank it with control and hope you can fight another day. I got you. I can change it. It just takes me a little longer because I'm stupid. I don't like that angle.
That's just for the break.
Okay, on the break, guys. Do not hit it hard until you're accurate. You understand? So the bottom line on the break there is he hit up on the ball where he needs to hit a little lower on the ball to get it to slide. So when you're hitting the ball firm, a stop shot from that distance is like just below center. So for me, I'd rather be a little lower than a little higher. And what happens is when you're a little higher, you see that ball arc and act really, really erratic. John, you may not be able to win at golf either. I'm just kidding, bro. I'll play you dead even golf if you let me throw the ball from 100 yards in. And putt with my pool stick. All right, he's got a little small angle. I think he'll just be able to stun it out right to the middle of the table. You know, he used spin there to create off the rail, so that was really, really good stroke. Now he's probably going to play the 5 in the same pocket. So for me, I'm going to use high or inside and just float forward, play my cue ball just above the 7 ball. He overcut it. Cue ball got out the line. For real. You gotta hold it down for the locals, man. It's awesome. Well, I'm saying he's holding it down.
They're not that bad. They're just Gaffney Robertsons. I'm just not that good at pool.
Shout out to Jacksonville Roofing. I'm assuming that is Bobby Garza's brother, Jimmy Garza. And he's a legend in the pool world. And if you guys need your roof done, obviously he's a part of pool. We should be filling him with some roofs because we don't help each other. Pool's going to die. So all our sponsors, we are deeply grateful for what you guys do for us. USA Pool, AZ Billiards. Shout out to, I can't read the sponsors at the bottom. Shout out to Diamond Billiards. Thank you, Livingston's, for having us. And USA Pool League. You guys are a big part of the growth of pool. What's the resort and spa's name? Why? It's a beautiful day out. The conditions outside are really nice. It's hot as Hades, but it helps in Florida, I believe, when it's not raining. I mean, the tables literally turn into monsters when it steams the earth here. And we get rain a lot in around the 4 or 5 o'clock range when the earth's very hot, and then it creates the steam. So people just, it's hard to understand that unless you're from here or Texas or the Bayou or something like that. But
It rains just because it's so hot here. The water, it literally rains because the ocean is so hot during the day.
Yeah, for
You know, that's why
It
we get
sucks.
that 45-minute.
Sucks up all the moisture out of the clouds, suck up all the ocean water, and then it hits in the middle and just makes a, for sure. Predator Tour Stop 3. It's your boy Mike DeLauder. I'm very grateful for the people that we got watching. Hopefully I can help you guys understand the game the way I interpret it, and then you can make it your own and turn into your own, your own teacher. Like C.J. Wiley says, the game is the teacher, and I love to help people learn the game. So if you notice, guys, Bobby had a sliding ball there, rotating on its backside. Not allowing the cue ball to go forward is the key to the 9-ball break. Okay? It either stops, pops, goes back a little more. It never goes forward. Bobby played what's called a principal safe, using distance as the main source of defense. Oftentimes, you're not going to be able to get the guy buried on a ball. Okay? So you're going to play end rail to end rail and let him fight for it. So see how this works out. What a great shot. He used maximum English. It was almost like a baby masse. He got a bad roll running to the 5. But that was an excellent, excellent delivery on his stroke, because to get the ball to turn that hard, you have to know how to deliver that stroke. I mean, it's just not, you can't hit it flat and it won't hold the English. You got to hit it with a little something.
But that looks sweet. That setup in your living room is nice. I love that. That LED light. Oh my God. Because if you go so high, it's so much more high. Yeah, mine's 8.5. You know, it doesn't look like this. Like you get the big body under that thing so close to the wall. So close to the table.
Okay, the key to getting the ball back down table is a small angle. It's got a little 4-footer here. Want to be at the base of the ball, or this is what I want you guys to realize: when you're drawing the ball, if you're going to hit a firmer speed, you're closer to center. You can hit it slower, you can be at the base of the ball, and you can draw the ball with finesse. So there's a couple ways, but you don't want to be at the bottom of the ball overhitting it, because you have more chance of miscuing. I believe that stroke is much more difficult than going to the base and just hitting it a little slower. Bobby likes to power the ball, so he hits through the middle of the ball or just below center, and he uses his stroke. Either way is fine. You just need to know which way you do, so you can get the best results possible. Bobby's juking it. He's juking it. That was a nice stroke, a little inside. We call that the yank stroke. So here I used inside. That would suggest to me he's going to use inside again and go forward and go 2 rails. But I guess he's going to draw back. I don't like this. Well, he had the angle to come straight. I thought he was going to go to the long rail and cross the angle. I like the 2-railer there, but I like his shot as well, because he did fall on the proper angle. Okay, so if you recognize how Bobby hits the ball, he drags the ball beautifully. And when you drag the ball, you're compensating for distance, so it's giving yourself a better chance of your cue ball being accurate. And it's also not going to transfer if you miss hit it, it's not going to be as profound of a miss. You may miss where you were aiming, but still go in the pocket. So that's the key to dragging the ball, Scores 5-0. Shout out to USA Pool League, Predator Q's, AZ Billiards, Jason Richgoes, the resort and spa. I can't read the first name. I apologize. But thank you so much, Kamui. Thank you so much to all the sponsors. I mean, if you look at NASCAR, you look at golf, it's all about the sponsors, guys. If we don't shout them out, we don't give them love. What really, are they doing it for? So. It appeared like Bobby tried to have a go at that. Straight back. So for me, I'm going to try to 3-foul here. I'm going to try to shoot the one down table and stick him on the 4. He had other plans. And, to be fair, I feel like he's got the perfect angle. No karaoke. I mean, I will sing some karaoke now. You got me. I'm not gonna sing to the audience here, but don't tempt me with a good time. I got some fuel in me and I can sing some Usher. Okay, I'll sing for y'all later. I'll sing for y'all later when it's appropriate. I got you. No, that's not the right here. They're trying to get me to sing. They thought it was karaoke. Meanwhile, I told them I'd sing, but at the appropriate time, you know what I mean? The thing about this match is, even though it's 5-0, the match has been a little closer than it appears. There's been some great exchanges, in the middle of the set. So you got to pat yourself on the back for what you've done right when you're trying to build your house, right? I mean, if it's the first time you build a house, I can understand you're going to fail. You're not ever going to be a master builder until you failed every way possible. So for me, their exchanges of defense and kicking, I think there's a lot to build off of for Johnny in the future match. I think he drew a tough opponent, but I think he has a lot of the intangibles, the composure. He has the composure and the mental fortitude, which you can teach it, but it takes a long time to teach. So when you're looking at it, you have an experienced and formidable opponent. Okay, so on that shot, you're shooting the ball 6-7 feet, and you're trying to snatch it back. Super tough shot. For me, you can't swing your club as fast back, because when you're swinging it fast backwards, you're going to hit across the ball, and it's not going to retain the draw. It's like slow backswing like a golfer, smooth, swift follow through. So people don't realize you can generate speed forward without much backstroke. Your backstroke, you don't have to do a fast backstroke to get a fast forward stroke. Your forward stroke's relative speed. So you just need to control the backstroke so you don't hit across the ball.
Well, a lot of people even give that example. That's why some of the pros, they'll hesitate. The last stroke, they'll hesitate because that way they know the delivery system to their speed forward.
Yeah.
That's their generation.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Close to the ball, your tendency is to miss the ball fast. So let's see if he cuts it or spins it enough. So people judge, a lot of amateurs judge, oh, is this guy running out? Oh, he didn't run out, he sucks. Not true. There's shots that only experience can teach, and that was one of them. Very nice back cut. Another excellent shot, using the angle, using the second rail. And, use that second rail. And he's going to have to probably get the bridge out, but I don't mind this angle. It's a little larger than maybe he wanted. Maybe he's just going to draw one rail on the top side of the 7 and then kind of go towards the 9. So like it's a two rails with the cue ball. If you think you can spin it between the 7-6, you can also do that as well. But for me, I'm thinking maybe that's tough to do from this position. Let's see what happens. yeah, the spin, it killed the cue ball more than he anticipated. So I think he aimed at the correct edge with the right amount of spin. I think he just kind of, he didn't realize how much the spin was going to take off the cue ball. When you're using side spin, outside English, outside's used to kill the cue ball or to create spin off the rail. You know what I mean? So in that case, he overkilled it. Could have increased his speed. It would have been an absolute beautiful shot. Well, if we knew that ball went there, what do we know? So on that shot, I like to use a touch of outside to kind of hold. I don't think it was the speed. I think it was the spin there. Guys, when you don't use outside, the cue ball runs further. So if you want to kill the cue ball with that same speed, you apply outside so you can aim at the ball a little thicker. When you're hitting it with no English, you have to cut it more. That makes the cue ball run. What a shot. Johnny, let's go, John. Made a good 8-ball. Let's see if he looks at the pocket. Okay, he's taking a look. I like this. He's composed. He's got a nice little feel for it. Looks like he's aiming a little thick. He must be spinning this ball. Yeah, he tried to spin it. So for me there, I like to go forward 2 rails to the bottom rail and protect the cue ball, guys. On every shot, you have a decision. Do you want 100% play to pocket the ball, or are you going to play the cue ball? Your percentage may go down a little bit in ball pocketing. However, your second opportunity will arise more often if you play the cue ball to the bottom rail. When you only play the object ball, you generally lose the game. When I was younger, I used to play object ball, object ball, object ball. But you know what? I've realized some shots are just difficult. So let's go ahead and play Whitey down to the bottom rail and play the appropriate speed. And if I make it, so be it. If I miss it, he's on the rail fighting for his life, down 5-0. Okay? So, or up 5-0. You know, the momentum swing is what I'm saying. No ball in hand, no ball in hand. Sorry, John. We just make money painting and pressure washing. I love you, brother. Cue ball went to the side rail. It's got a tough opening shot. I talk about this shot a lot in one pocket. You got to cut it with the spin. And the 3 looks like it's in play for this shot. He looks like he has a little bit of room. I'd say most people, when they use side spin here, they run into the 3. The key here, guys, is just smooth it, play the cue ball, 2 rails to the long rail, and just, it doesn't even matter what angle you get on the 2 ball. He came around. Shot of the match there. It's an excellent shot. Outside English took every bit of doubt. He pocketed the ball. That was such a beautiful stroke. I think the reason why he played that ball like that was so he could avoid the 3. So off to the 3 ball, he's got a little more angle than he would like. I think he's going to have to go to the bottom rail, stun it. No, okay, it's hard to tell the angle. I thought he had more angle than that. One thing Bobby knows how to do is work through the angle. He creates angles as good or better than most people I know. He hit it a little too high on the ball, and it's a perfect angle. It's just I'd like to be a little more to the middle there so I can kind of just be free of everything. Inside English. All right, so this shot happens a lot. Like hill for the tournament's tough. Your goal is you don't have to get perfect. You're a ball pocketer. You don't got to get perfect. Low, touch it inside. Yeah. When you try, straight-in shots are actually the hardest shots because when you're aiming a straight-in shot, if you miss-hit the cue ball, you're transferring more spin to the object ball. So the key there is to hit where you're aiming. You know what I mean? Johnny's on the board. Almost was a shutout. And now we're back in business. Listen. So earlier, when Johnny broke, he kind of raised up and hit above center. So you can stun the ball with middle, bottom, or top, but the issue is that the English, if you hit high on the break, it's going to stall for a second and then it's going to zip forward. And you just don't know how to control that type of technique. So he needs to go a little lower on the cue ball with the same intensity. And your cue ball will stay on a string, on a straight line. Much more accurate this way. What up, Kevin? How you doing, brother? All right, that was a much better break. No ball pocketed. The bad part about a good break when you don't make a ball is it's a good break for your opponent. So that's just kind of brutal when you hit it square and you give yourself the best opportunity and you still don't pocket a ball. So I can completely relate to being down in matches and the break just not working for me. So Bobby killed his ball a little too much. That outside's killer. It's easy to dissect people's mistakes or flaws, and it's very hard to see what you're doing incorrectly. So I don't want to think that I'm a know-it-all. I know what I'm looking at. However, I need somebody to help look at me to fix me. I take all advice. Being a tall guy, if you teach me how to stay down, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, 6-1. If you get a couple games under your belt, pressure definitely does occur. So something that you just have to control your emotions through every aspect, every phase of pool, because it will just eat you up, spit you out. And if you don't either enjoy the torture or enjoy objective thinking, pool's probably not the game for you, you know? So, for all you amateurs out there, this is a principal safe. This is excellent, control. I mean, yes, he left him an edge, but this is a very difficult shot he left him. So, you don't always have the ability to just leave the perfect safe. You have to play principal safe. And look what it earned Bobby. Now Bobby's got the nut safe where he can center ball push through the cue ball. You want to get the 3 ball down there so it decreases the angle of attack for his opponent. I feel like at Bobby's level, he's got to get the cue ball snug. However, he has the lead, and I think he did enough to get the job done. This is a very difficult shot because the 3 is probably going to hit the 4, and so just, you know, he went under it. If you guys want to learn something from a man when he's down, you can learn so much. Johnny has great mental disposition. He takes full accountability. He waits his turn. He's sitting in his chair completely composed for his opportunity. I mean, Efren said it best. You can learn from all skill levels. So if you're over there, you know, only patting yourself on the back for what a guy does good, or only giving credit for what a guy does good, you know, for what he does bad and you're bashing him, look at what he does good, because you could apply that to your game. And now if you really are a better pool player, you can really make it count. So something to consider when you're watching other players. You know, don't just think, oh, this guy sucks because he can only run 5 balls. Well, he played a lot of great defense. He put a lot of pressure. Yes, he missed some ground strokes, but that's very common to miss ground strokes, guys. It's very common. Bobby tried to go around table, and it looks like he's hooked. So right there, guys, you just can't understand how hard it is to hold that 7 ball to where you don't at least leave some type of edge. He absolutely executed the maximum value out of that shot, because if he was trying to duck him under the 8, he'd have to hit it too hard. So he just ducked behind the 8. He didn't get him snug, but you risk leaving too much. So that's what you call a principal safe. I really, really like when your back's against the wall and you can just create distance, go back in your chair, and whatever happens, you take your medicine. It's no big deal. So this is pretty much a one-pocket shot in the side, and you're just going to play the speed to play shape on the 8 and down in the corner. You're not really worried about making the ball as much as you are just playing the right speed, playing shape on the 8. If the 7 doesn't go, he's going to screw him on the 8. It looked like it rolled off a little. He put a touch of side spin, so it feel like it should have turned the ball more, but maybe the speed he hit it, it kind of ran out of side spin. I guess the word would be exacerbating, I think. I always thought it was exasperate, but it's not. So even though he missed, guys, he protected. I don't like the exact speed. We'd like it to hit a little firmer. But if you hit it too firm, it hits the point and leaves the shot. So let's credit the speed there and hopes that he gets a second opportunity, you know? Forgot to spin it. Very, very tough conditions. We're going from the Robinsons to the Diamonds. So there's going to be a fair amount of adjusting to conditions on these tables. I appreciate you guys having me. Kamui Chalk, all you guys appreciate, the time that you spent with me on the weekend. I know you're off work. You probably didn't have to do that. Appreciate you believing in what we represent. Pool is a beautiful game played by ugly people. All right, Bobby Garza. 2 gentlemen at the table. Johnny handled himself with complete honor, and I was proud to get to commentate this match. Both guys showed complete composure, so thank you so much.